Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, we are at the end of the 2018-19 season. So this is the 2018-19 season recap of this Everton Kit Quest career mode with Richarlison as the player of focus. And the kit of focus was the 2018-19 home kit, the blue one, obviously. As you can see in a picture there, Richarlison sporting it right there. Conveniently enough for us, I guess. But yeah, so we're going to kind of recap the season in terms of, how he did in the various competitions and like board objectives, transfers, stats, and all that good stuff. So let's kind of get right into it with the various competitions. You kind of see there, this is going to be another somehow one and done Kit Quest career mode because somehow the game has smiled upon us, and Everton have won the Premier League in the 2018-19 season, as you can see here. I was absolutely not expecting this, expecting this to be like a multi-year one, kind of slowly building up the roster and all that good stuff, but the sim engine was kind to us, man. The sim engine was kind to us. They, like, most of the games that we had Everton lost that I simmed, like that season IRL, we somehow won most of them or drew. So like we turned basically what was like a bit negative results into positive results most of the time. And there you see kind of ran away with the Premier League 13-point gap. Kind of when all said and done there between us and Spurs, who finished, I guess Spurs and Liverpool, who tied them on points at 70. But yeah, so we finished first in the Premier League. Pretty epic stuff. So yeah, we only lost 5 matches, which we lost Arsenal in October, and Manchester United in October, Tottenham in December, Southampton in January, and then Spurs on the last day of the season. I was kind of putting out mad rotated sides for the last couple of matches because we'd already clinched the title and all that. So I was like, yeah, we don't really need to use like our full lineup. So I put out kind of our backups and stuff to get them some game experience, like game time and stuff and whatnot. So like our backup goalkeeper is like retiring at the end of the season. So I was like, yeah, we'll give him some final starts and stuff. So yeah, pretty solid season that way. So if we go next to go to the Carabao Cup, because that's like what kind of finishes first. That was the FA Cup, so Carabao Cup. As you can see here, we did not win that. That was won by Newcastle, who won the Carabao Cup a couple not that long ago. IRL. They beat Brighton 2-1. So if we started out in round 3, I think. Here we go. Mansfield Town. Everton, as you see here, so we got Brighton in round 1 of the Carabao Cup. And as you see, we only did that game and lost 3-1. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure Brighton lost on pens to like Brighton in the first round. Yeah. Oh no, they lost to Southampton on pens in the third round of the Carabao Cup IRL. So that's why we kind of simulated the match and we lost. So that's what it is. And I saw there, as I kind of said 2 seconds ago, Newcastle beat Brighton in the final of that. So if we go next to the FA Cup, so let's kind of go to our journey through that. So we started also in round 3 there. So round 3. Here we go. We got, where are we at? There we go. We got Man City in the round 3 of the FA Cup. But because how we do things here, Everton beat Lincoln City 2-1 the third round of the FA Cup that season IRL. So I played that match and won 2-1. Goals from Schneiderlin and Tosin. Anthony Gordon was man of the match of that game. He had an assist on the Tosin's game winner. So we advanced on to round 4. So skip the replays. Round 4. We got matched up against Brighton again, so you're basically staring at Brighton for the second time in 2 cup competitions. That game, IRL, Everton lost to Millwall 3-2. So I simulated that match. I see here, oh, it's on the screen. Oopsies. Where are we? Jeez, we're all the way at the back. So we drew 1-1 with a Tosin goal there. So that meant we had to do a replay back at Goodison Park. There we go. And that I kind of did because that wasn't a thing that happened on my IRL, I did like the kind of last 5 method, so I went to the same site I usually use, next to using English Teams, so I can use that website and kind of put it in the randomizer, and it spat out play for, I guess, I'd Everton win that last 5 matchups. So I played the game 1-2-1 with Goals from Anthony Gordon and Idrissa Gana Gueye. James McCarthy was the man of the match with the assist on Anthony Gordon's opening goal. Then round 5, we got matched up against another big boy in Arsenal. And that was another one, kind of did the last 5. We literally, I think, in the last 5 from like kind of 2018-19 season back, had beat Arsenal once. And this image was the randomizer kind to us, so we got play. So we played the match, won 3-2. Goals from Tosin and McCarthy. So James McCarthy, with kind of a couple of goal contributions, was the man of the match in that one. So pretty impressive stuff there. Round 6 / the quarterfinals, it was a Merseyside derby. We got matched up against Liverpool. That one we kind of did the randomizer. We got draw. So kind of did the slow sim and whatever, hop it if I need to kind of stuff. But that's things I kind of just had to simulate it and kind of hope for the best. And we did get the best. We won the Merseyside derby in the FA Cup 2-1 with a game-winning goal from Kurt Zouma. So pretty impressive stuff there. Semifinals. I don't know why it doesn't show up at all. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, EA Sports. Semifinals, we got matched up against Manchester United. So we basically went through most of the big 6 here. That one, again, kind of through the last 5 through the randomizer, got draw. Kind of had to sit and hope for the best in this one. And we won 2-0 with goals from Michael Keane and Luca Digne, which is pretty impressive stuff there. This, as I said, this image was very kind to us in this one. Like these are like most of these like the Liverpool and the Manchester United here once expected to lose, but we ended up winning. As you see here, we ended up matchup against Spurs in the final. And that one, they hadn't won a game. I think it was like 1 draw and like 4 losses. So kind of through the randomizer, got Sim, unsurprisingly. Sim made the match with the full squad and drew 1-1 and lost on penalties, unfortunately. So maybe still won the Premier League though, which is kind of the biggest trophy you could have won this season, which was impressive. So I made it kind of to the final of another kind of competition, so I'll take it. So this is a kind of successful Kit Quest career mode here at that. Kind of in terms of that was it in terms of competitions every team participated in, obviously, because we weren't in Europe or anything like that. So it's kind of just quickly though look at the European competitions, see what kind of happened. So the Super Cup is the Madrid derby, and Atletico beat Real 2-1. Champions League was almost like it was this close to being like the actual IRL Champions League final. Because what the heck, man? Let's try that again, because it was definitely showing up before when I was like kind of looking through it to put the stuff in my spreadsheet. There we go. Semifinals. Yes, the Spurs lost to Barcelona in the semifinals. We almost had the same final of Liverpool Spurs, and Liverpool though kind of ended up being the team that won it that season. Unfortunately, ended up winning it here in this career mode. Beat Barcelona 2-0 in the final, and then last kind of competition because there's no Conference League is the Europa League, and unfortunately the scum Arsenal won on penalties against Inter. Very disappointing there, but it is what it is. So that's kind of it for in terms of competitions and stuff. In terms of, I guess, transfer business and whatnot, let's go to transfer history. Go to my club and go like this. Yeah. So in terms of that, let's go to, let me just pulling out a thing in my spreadsheet here. Sorry. Transfers. We didn't bring it in any players because we kind of had full spots in the squad. So a lot of the team is setting out kind of youngsters. You're on loan to various kind of places because we didn't need them in the squad. And here was our first sale. Did I miss a sale? No. Okay, if I just put it in order. Okay, that was Leighton Baines for 2.6 mil to Bournemouth because we kind of had Luca Digne and Brendan Galloway kind of to be our our starter and backup left back, so we didn't really need him. And he's in the final year of his deal, so I was like, all right, to get some cash for you. And then we also kind of center backs. We had enough to fill Jagielka, sold to Fluminense in Brazil for 1.55 million pounds. And then the last kind of transfer here was Metuz Huel for £260,000 to Middlesbrough. So yeah, that was kind of it. There were a couple other players that I was trying to, like youngsters, that I was trying to transfer out because they were like at the final years of their deal and their like potentials was kind of not good, whatnot. But they kind of the same problem that's kind of existed in the game until now is they like basically like refused to move, so I couldn't transfer them out, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So that's it in kind of terms of transfer business. So I guess let's look at like the next thing is probably I guess owner objectives. There we go, board objectives. 0 to 94% here, so we were very good with that stuff. So as you can see here, the long-term one, kind of youth one was 2.65 mil profit in youth sales, which kind of took 2 seasons. We had to like scout all the youth players because we didn't start with like anyone in the youth academy at all. So kind of had a couple players that were like kind of decent value and whatnot, but kind of didn't really get around to doing this because we kind of only have the 1 season here. And then kind of brand stuff was kind of 44 mil in shirt sales, which we were able to do, I think, pretty early on, which is good. And then the second one, long-term one, again, within 3 seasons, was increase season ticket holders by 10%, which we clearly, I guess, didn't make any progress on. I'm guessing because it probably goes like season by like rolls over, like into the next, like takes us into the next season for that to like increase or whatever. Which I imagine we probably would have, considering we won the league and stuff. We probably would have kind of hit that objective, especially because we actually had Champions League football and all that good stuff. Financial objective was reduce player wages by like a really tiny amount, which is like really odd. It was like wages like by 8.8k pounds, which we were able to do pretty easily through like the loans and the couple of sales we did. We were able to decrease our wages by that much. The kind of league stuff was to finish basically top 5, get a Europa League, which obviously we did by kind of winning the league, which is great. And then was the FA Cup was to reach the round of 16, which we obviously surpassed by reaching the finals of the FA Cup and while losing to Spurs. And then longest term, which was within 2 seasons, was finish in basically the top 4 Champions League spot, which we kind of did earlier than that by finishing first this season, which is excellent. Then condensed look success was basically qualified to the Europa League, which we did by finishing first, which we kind of surpassed it and qualified the Champions League, which is the more kind of prestigious and more high money competition. So board was pretty satisfied with that. So we did pretty good the board objectives there. So that's where we're kind of sitting at a nice solid 94, which is probably like the highest I've probably been ever, which is pretty nice. But yeah, 94, really good. So I guess last but not least here, I guess, is kind of stats and whatnot. So let's go to the squad hub. Look at the stats here. So I'll kind of quickly scroll through most of these because it's kind of is what it is. And I kind of quickly let's get down to Richarlison so you can look at his stats and kind of talk through him as we kind of wrap up here. So I see Jordan Pickford. Here's the backup keeper. I kind of had to play a couple matches. He was retiring, whatnot. Now kind of here's Michael Keane. Ugadinha, who I didn't know was ever played for Everton, so that was kind of a fun surprise. He was pretty good. Kind of our backup center mids. Kind of Gay starting. Theo Walcott. Andre Gomes, he was our other kind of starter in the double pivot we had. Lookman here, who was like famous kind of the hat trick in the Europa League final for Atalanta. Didn't realize he was an Everton man at one point, so it's cool to kind of play with him as the backup. He played as a starter for a little bit because Bernard got injured. We did deal with a couple of different varying injuries, like Bernard got injured, I'm pretty sure. Then Lookman himself got injured. And like Michael Keane got injured for a while and stuff. Here's Anthony Gordon, youngster Anthony Gordon at 18 here. Had a pretty solid season, kind of coming off the bench and stuff. And in terms of kind of strikers, So we had kind of youngster Hornby played a lot. Tosin was our backup starter striker. He had 10 goals, which is pretty nice. Calvert-Lewin, who's kind of still at Everton, kind of had him playing mostly on like the right mid or left midfield. And Richarlison here had an excellent season. As you can see here, finished with 26 goal contributions in all competitions, but that also does include the preseason in this one, unfortunately, but it's what it is. But yeah, he scored 20 goals in the Premier League, which was second behind Eden Hazard, who I think had 23. And if I hadn't done the whole squad rotation stuff at the last couple of matches after he clinched, Richarlison probably could have gotten the Golden Boot, but I wanted to keep him healthy for the FA Cup final. But yeah, so 20 goals in the Premier League was pretty solid stuff. 4 assists as well, which is really nice. But yeah, Richarlison a really solid season, so that's kind of it here in this kit quest. So yeah, at some point we'll be getting this nice blue Umbro kit here at the Angry Birds sponsor, which I still can't get over. The Angry Birds sponsored Everton. I guess it was like 2018-19 was like what 6 years ago at this point. So I guess was Angry Birds still like a thing? I guess it was a thing back then. I guess, but still kind of wild. But yeah, this is another one season wonder here, and it's in a kit quest. Next up, I think I actually do know for sure what it is going to be this time, because I had to like buy the game again. I had to buy the game, which was FIFA 22, because I had it originally on Game Pass or whatever, or it was on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure it's also one no longer on Game Pass, because like it's I think it's probably FIFA 23 and FC 24 are probably the ones on Game Pass. And then 2 of my Game Pass have expired, so even though it was still there, I couldn't access it. So I instead of paying the however much a month for Game Pass, I paid like $3 or $5 or whatever for like a used copy of FIFA 22 on eBay. I don't think it was used. I think it was like a brand new copy of FIFA 22 on eBay. So the next series after this is going to be a kind of Pape Sarr FC Metz Kit Quest career mode in FIFA 22, because that was like he won I think it was like some award, I think, for basically like young Senegalese footballer of the year that year. And I think it was like the calendar year of 2022, which would have been like the end of the 21-22 season and the start of kind of like the season before, like 22-23 season, kind of the World Cup and stuff. It's certainly I don't think he really played that often under Conte that year. I was like, I'll do the FC Metz side, because he had a couple goal contributions and stuff there. So yeah, that's going to be the next kind of series. It's going to be the FC Metz Kit Quest Kurma with Pape Sarr. So I actually kind of knew what's coming up next this time, which is the first for in a little bit here. But yeah, I think this is kind of it for this series here. So we won the Premier League, which is pretty exciting stuff here with Richarlison and friends. But yeah, thank you for checking out this episode and the series as a whole, which is only 2 episodes. And hope you check out that kind of Pape Sarr series that I mentioned as well. Thank you.
Out on the game has been irrelevant, because already they knew they'd clinch the title. Everyone in the ground, including the players, waiting for the presentation to reward this outstanding season from an outstanding team.
Yeah, it's been a party atmosphere, hasn't it, really, from start to finish. I've experienced it myself back in '91 when we played Manchester United. But it doesn't taste any less sweet for those lads down there.
And they've enjoyed the game, but really, most of all, they've enjoyed the season. They have been superb, undoubtedly the outstanding team.
Well, I think so. Sometimes when their rivals faltered, they kept their eyes fixed firmly on the target, and they really did stick together. They had injuries, 1 or 2 suspensions, but they kept picking up the results.
And now they are about to pick up what it's all about. They are the champions.
Oh, wonderful scenes and moments they will never forget. You look back in 20 years' time and you'll think about this day.
To share it with the supporters. They've had a great bond, great travelling fans, as well as the home followers. They certainly haven't been without the backing that every team needs to go week in, week out in this most demanding of leagues. Great occasion here. had time to set it all up, knowing that this presentation day would take place. It didn't depend on the result of the match. And together with the trophy. And that will be a corner for United. Opening them up with a through pass. Here's a chance. Goal, they've taken the lead here. They go in front with this very slick attack. And however... He's got support here. Andre Gomez. Got to be. Super save from De Gea.
Is there anyone better in the world at those stops?
Probing with the pass. Brilliant pass, can he finish it? And now they're 2 up with another fine piece of attacking play. Typical, really, of the work of the players and the effort that they put in on the training. Oh, he's cut that out. Opportunity here. It's a goal. Cleared away, well away from goal. Gone for the header, and we love to see that, especially you, Alan, but you could head it much, much better than this one.
Well, you've got to be committed to those headers, and he wasn't quite.
Now, we've only got 4 minutes. This is a good opportunity. Could score! They've scored!
Well, good finish, no doubt, Martin, but what about the play before that? What about the passing? Wonderful team effort.